All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So, today's podcast is definitely uh, a little different than we do. I know sometimes I do say this, but just something to consider that most pods, when I share with you my perspective, my observations, conversations that I've had with people, a lot of it has to do with um, you know to keep fighting, to keep going, to keep showing up. I think that's been one of the most common themes, which is to keep showing up, because in order to experience greatness, in order to experience mastery, you need to keep showing up. That honestly, if you think about everything that I've said in more than 150 plus podcasts, especially on this pod, the eye hypnosis coach speaks, which is the solo pod. This is a recurring theme, that I keep talking about, that I keep bringing up and sharing with you. And interestingly, today I was at a friend's community. I was sharing all about the new program that is being launched. It's literally taken 17 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and in no particular order, in no particular proportion. And in all of this, of course, I've made it a point to, no matter how many times I've thought of retreating, I've made it a point to keep coming back, to keep learning, to keep growing, to keep sharing. And that is one of the reasons why today I get to be here and tell you about the IHNLP practitioner program, because this is something that has grown with time. And today, when I share with you this program, I know it is a combination, it is drawn out of all the many, many experiences that I've had, not only for me to learn this, to learn, the best that NLP or neuro-linguistic programming, the best that hypnosis has to offer, but to also be able to teach it in a way that, you can learn it, you can experience it, and then, of course, eventually you can practice it in any number of places, in any number of ways. And so the intention here is, um, while of course I'm telling you this, when I was in my friend Pallavi's community, and I was sharing with her group um, what all the program entails, one thought came to me, because as I was looking at myself, and I realized that as every warrior does, we have our um, armory, we have our armaments, we have our armor, and when going to war, when going to do battle, we always wear our best. We always wear war paint, as they say, right? And there's a reason for that, because when you are fully prepared, when you are wearing everything that makes you feel fully present, your energy will shift. So today, for a change, I momentarily realized that I hadn't, completed my routine, um, my sequence of what I do before getting into a session. In this case, of course, obviously the last couple of weeks have been they've taken quite a toll. One is, of course, this is like literally the height of summer. I'm in Goa, and it is hotter than expected. Um, and then, of course, I'm here on personal reasons, and so it has been taking a lot of my focus, my attention, but more importantly, it's been teaching me every step of the way. Having said all of that, of course, I realized that in the moment, as I was looking at myself, I could see the tired lines. I could see the the fatigue, and it is what I've also come to realize is that it is totally normal. Firstly, to experience it, it's totally normal to talk about it. And so that's why, as I was preparing for today's pod, I said, what better than to talk about that. Now, of course, in the meantime, between then and now, before I got onto this pod, I made it a point to, literally to splash some water, to refresh my armor. Um, of course, being middle of the night, I didn't put on my hair cream, which is something that I love to do. But I still made it a point to, to splash the water on my face, to wet my hair, just to kind of like wake me up and show up here for this pod. Now, in all of this, of course, like I said, this is not um, this is not a beauty class. Um, this is not uh, a fashion class either, but it's just a reminder that all these little things that we do, especially as digital coaches, especially as healers, um, when it comes to putting the word out there, when it comes to connecting with people and telling them about our experiences and why we have created these programs that we know will make a difference in their lives. Um, the realization today was, of course, that every little matters. And so whether it is the light, so literally, I've traveled cities with my own, studio light, with my studio setup, all of this to ensure that when I do show up on camera, I'm able to be my best version that I can be today. Now, obviously, it goes without saying, will I be better tomorrow? Will I be better than I was in the past? That is the intention. And so it was definitely a reminder that every little thing matters. And so when you make it a point to bring yourself wherever you go, keep this in mind, right? Like uh, and that was literally the theme of today's pod, right? That it's like every warrior needs to rest. And one part is, of course, resting. The other part is bringing your game face, your best to whatever venue, whatever location you may be, whether it is digital, whether it's in person. And so, if you know there are things that work for you that raise your uh, physical energy, do them, right? To me, and this is of course a note to self as well, because I'm literally like sitting here a couple of inches away from about a foot away from my screen, so every little thing shows up. And so for me, that was a reminder that when you are being present in every sense of the word matters. Now, of course, having said all of that, this is great because like I have been able to shake myself out of whatever zone I had kind of like um, fallen into or zoned into. But if you're somebody right now, especially as a digital coach and healer, or maybe a student um, of personal development or personal change, if you are somebody who is saying that, all this is well and good for you, but I am really having a tough time, I'm struggling. I just want you to know that, you're not alone, firstly. Secondly, reach out to people who you know and trust and, share with them, because very often sharing with others um, in itself, reduces a lot of the load. So do that. And of course, having said all of that, if you feel, you know, you know, they won't really understand you, and please reach out. I mean, that's the reason why I make it a point to do these daily pods as a way to tell you that you're not alone. Right? I know what it feels to be alone, especially when you're on your journey and you feel that people may not understand you. Right? That's the reason why I make it a point to show up every day. Wishing you all the very best. And um, if there's any way in which I can help you, please do let me know. So, of course, having said all of that, remember to live with purpose. And I look forward to seeing you in the next pod. Um, God bless. Have a wonderful day ahead. And I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Okay. Let me see. My text seems to be slowing down. See you there. Bye bye.